In this video, we're looking at contrast between a wild area and a garden area. And we're going to look at two areas. One of them is Deer Creek Park, which is in Yamhill County. It's kind of a tame wild area. And the other area is nearby, it's less than 20 miles away, is the McMinnville, Oregon Native Plant Garden, which is kind of a wild tape garden. Deer Creek Park is one of the newer parks in Yamhill County, Oregon. It's maintained by the County Parks Department. It's pretty wild by comparison for parks. It features native forests, some large grassy areas, and some picnic tables. So pretty much all that happens there is basic maintenance. There are several streams, including Deer Creek, that run through the property. Deer Creek is the largest of those, and some smaller feeder creeks. These streams haven't been altered in any way since the time the park was acquired, except to build some bridges for people who are visiting the park. No plants have been planted, so it's based on the natural vegetation of the area. There's some wildflowers, some shrubs, there's a lot of wild oak trees, and then there's a lot of lichen. And it hangs from the tree branches. The common name of it is called Old Man's Beard. The other site is the McMinnville Library Garden. McMinnville is in Oregon, in Yamhill County also, about 20 miles away from the park. It's also maintained by volunteers, and it was planted by volunteers. The garden is located right on US 99W as it passes southward through the center of McMinnville. It's well known by local residents and receives many visitors who relax on the benches and look at the native plants. It's far from a formal garden, and yet it is more tidy than its wilder counterpart. There are some differences, however, between the two that we should think about. The park has a wilder look than the garden. So just by the fact of tending the garden and the number of people that are there taking care of the plants, it has a less wild look than that park, even though it has some maintenance as well. Weeds are present in the park. There's very few weeds that are present in the garden setting. The library garden is definitely a place for people. There are benches, there are signs. The plants are all sort of massed together rather than being wherever they occur naturally in the park. The library, because it's a garden, features plants that look good. They're plants that you can go up close and touch. They're plants that you can figure out what they are if you look at the signs that are in the garden. Generally, they're plants that have nice blossoms, good-looking fruit, good fall color. So as you're looking at native plants and looking at your own needs for working with native plants in a landscape or garden, you should think about what they might look like in the wild, what they might look like in a garden, how that might be different. If there's less maintenance that you want to do, you want to create a more natural wild look. And if it's a highly maintained area, then looking into how those plants adapt to a garden setting is a good idea.